You're doing good this Sunday morning, December. What is it? Let me get it right. That's right, y'all. December the 15th. We got 10 more days to Jingle Bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. Batmobile lost his will and the Joker got away. Hey, Jingle Bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. What's going on? How y'all doing? I'm glad y'all here with me. So what's up, y'all? It's your boy BOOGOTTINYC, and like I always tell you, could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So first thing I want to tell y'all to do, if y'all feel like y'all want to ever support the channel, you definitely can go over to the website www.drinkbigdrip.com. Same way we spell it, 2 G's, 2 P's. Drinkbigdrip.com. We got the raspberry, grape, lemon, 14% alcohol by volume. Big taste, big flavor, big punch. Big drip. Going over there. You only need one can, especially if you got a low tolerance like I do. Straight up. We also got some merch over there. See, I'm rocking one of the oversized shirts today. No, it is not my size. If y'all could see the size of this shirt, oh my God, I'm swimming in this, but it's comfortable. I can move around and I still can do what I gotta do. So let's do what we gotta do because we have a long show. We got a lot of information to get out. We're gonna be talking about a lot of topics today. We got Lock Them Up, as you can see. There's already situations going on in the cities and the sanctuary states where ICE has already started to come in. We got ICE deporting Honduran drug gangs and immigrants. There's also was 7 men that were arrested in a child S ring that I definitely want you guys to know about because it all goes back to school and it all goes back to what they're trying to ingrain into our children. So like I always tell you guys, you could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So let's get into it and be patient with me because we got a lot to cover.
We'll be filing notice by the state of Texas that we intend to seek the death penalty against Jocelyn's murderers. We are seeking death because we want the message out there that regardless of who you are, but especially if you are illegally in this country, that you will face the same consequences as anyone else for murdering a child during the course of raping and kidnapping her.
What a terrible story. You heard it here this morning. Harris County, Texas DA Kim Ogg telling us exclusively that she is now seeking the death penalty in the case against 2 Venezuelan migrants accused of killing that 12-year-old girl, Jocelyn Nungri. This, another horrific death out of a child out of Houston. 7-year-old Ivory Smith allegedly killed by a Venezuelan migrant in a drunk driving accident just 2.5 months after ICE released a hold against the suspect. According to the authorities, the suspect, once after the accident, jumped out of the car, took pictures of the crash, and then drove off instead of trying to help the victims.
So now you got a daughter and a mother that were in a car accident and hit by an illegal migrant criminal. And what he decides to do, instead of get out and see if the baby's okay, he takes pictures and he drives off. Have no idea what that gets him. Does that get him some points? Does he send that back to the cartel or something like that? I have no idea, and I don't care. But what needs to happen is people like that need to be in prison, and then they need to be deported back to their original country, especially if he's not supposed to be here. And as you heard what they said, he's an illegal migrant. They need to get on top of it because now it's killing and it's hurting our children. I don't care about all of you sensitive people out there that's trying to tell me about feel bad about certain people and stuff like that. We got to get these people off of our streets and away from harming our children because that's where the majority of the percentage of the problems are now going to. Over 29% of the XS crimes are focused towards our children, and that's dead wrong.
Now Ivory's family is demanding justice, and Ivory's aunt, Sharonda Collins, joins us right now. Sharonda, good morning to you.
Good morning.
I am so sorry. You know, this happened on December 1st, Christmas month, and now your niece, Christina, has lost her only child.
Correct. My niece has lost her only child. Her dad has lost his only daughter. Our family has lost Ivory, which was loved throughout our family. She was one of our youngest ones in the family. And we're just seeking justice. We're trying to get these laws changed because it's unfair. Like you guys say, it's 12 days before Christmas, and we're planning a funeral instead of trying to celebrate Christmas.
Sharonda, explain that thing that I just talked about in this introduction. This migrant from Venezuela, after he hit the other car, jumps out, and rather than helps, he takes pictures and then gets in the car and speeds away.
Yes, unfortunately, he didn't care. He didn't care that it was a mother and a daughter in that car, scared that he had harmed. He didn't try to assist. He didn't try to call for help. He got out, he took pictures, and he tried to flee the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what's happening when we have these people illegally here that's not supposed to be here. And if you guys want to know what he looks like, let's go ahead and get a nice shot of him. This is him right here. That's him. That's him right there. And I'm going to tell you his name right now. His name is Joel Gonzalez Chacin. Remember, y'all, Joel Gonzalez Chacin, and it's spelled Chacin. And he got out of the car and he took pictures. I remember you. I would never forget you. Would never forget you, Joel. You're a weakling. That's what you are. You're a weakling for doing something like that. And you need to be stopped and apprehended immediately. And this is some more information about him. That's crazy.
Well, tonight we're learning that a man accused of killing a 7-year-old girl while driving intoxicated last week was let off of an immigration hold just a few months before the tragedy. Fox 26's Abigail Dunn joins us live with these new developments.
Sherman, the suspect is a non-U.S. citizen, we're told a Venezuelan national, and with his criminal history here in Harris County, the big question is, should he have been out of custody when this tragedy happened? Should he have even been in the U.S.?
The death of 7-year-old Ivory Smith made headlines fast.
He's taking her away from us. We wasn't ready. She's 7.
On December 1st, the second grader was killed in a crash that sent her mom, the driver, to the hospital.
Look at this. I want you guys to this is why I freeze frame and why I brought this second video in here. I did this specifically because there had to be such an impact to this vehicle right here. I want you guys to really see that, and that's why I zoomed in and everything. There had to be such an impact to this vehicle for this car to curve like this, even if it's a fiberglass car, for all of the airbags to impact and they went out to the point where the roof airbag went out and the back one and the back came out. It looks as if even over here the axle may be even broken from the impact. So all of this is where the car was hit at. And the mom was driving the car. So I guess the airbags were able to save her, but not the little angel, not Ivory, because of Julio and his antics.
For nearly a week. Investigators saying that Joel Enrique Gonzalez Chacin is to blame. For
Joel, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. No. Not Julio, my bad. Joel. I said your name wrong. Let's get you right. Freeze frame you. Let's go ahead and freeze frame you. This who did it, y'all. This guy right here. I don't even care about the numbers on this. I don't care. I want y'all to hear this.
Blame for running a red light while intoxicated.
If he wasn't out drinking and driving, she would be with us right now and we wouldn't be at court.
We told you how Chacin was put on an immigration hold.
Yeah, so currently the bond amount is at $150,000. The reason that is he has an ICE hit, so if he is to make that bond, he has to deal with the immigration side as well. That is not likely to be made.
And now we learned this isn't the first time he's been on an ICE hold. Records show earlier this year he was arrested for assaulting a family member.
And he was taken into custody in June. There was immediately an ICE hold placed on him. I mean, he couldn't bond out.
The felony was dropped to a misdemeanor, and he was sentenced to 113 days in jail.
And the reason it was 113 days, because that was the time he had already served. So basically, he just pled guilty and walked out the door because the ICE hold was lifted the day he pled guilty.
I reached out to ICE Houston to ask why that initial hold was lifted. They told me that Jassim is a Venezuelan national and some information on his current hold, but didn't disclose anything on the June hold due to privacy regulations.
Or why was that hold lifted when he discharged his sentence? If they had kept that hold on him, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You had a 7-year-old girl that would be alive today, and you had a mother that wouldn't be seriously injured.
And those questions still remain. Now, Ivory's mom, Christina, she is out of the hospital. She was released on Friday, but she still has a long road to recovery, according to the family. They sent me a lengthy statement tonight saying, in part, what's even more troubling is the fact that this individual was released after being detained earlier this year, only to find themselves back in custody after causing irreparable harm. Why do we have holds in place if they fail to keep dangerous individuals off the streets?
So they're utilizing all of the little rinky-dink laws in the sanctuary cities to work the revolving doors, to keep on getting out of prison, to keep on getting out of jail, actually, to keep on furthering and committing crimes. And it seems like the majority of the people that are getting hurt as a result of these crimes are our children. Check this out. All going after the children, and I have no reason why, but I'm putting them on blast. Y'all call me what y'all want.
Sex trafficking operation arresting 7 people that we just mentioned.
Yeah, so one of those suspects is a former assistant principal at Seattle Public Schools. Fox 13's Frankie.
So this is why I wanted to bring this up. This situation has to do with public schools and administrators and teachers that are getting caught up in sex rings by the police. So now, does it make more sense why they want those kind of books in school? And why they're allowing it and why they have no problem with it? Because you could look a certain way and be teaching people and still be acting as if you got all your everything together and your wherewithal is there. And you have no ill intentions. But in reality, I'm an assistant school principal. Who would think of something like this?
Thompson has been gathering details about this sting and the charges those suspects are now facing.
Say Alex Diaz-Rios was employed with Seattle Public Schools when he was arrested in this child sex trafficking scheme. Prosecutors say he is now charged with prostitution. Renton police say one of the other 7 suspects arrested was previously convicted for raping a child.
The goal of this operation was to arrest men who are trying to purchase sex from a minor.
Taking down suspected predators accused of intending to harm the most vulnerable population, children.
There are real kids out there being victimized every day.
Renton police body camera video captures the arrest of 7 men as part of the department's undercover investigation using text messaging and social media platforms to target people on the demand side seeking prostitution.
And so for the overall investigation, we start with that dialogue. We make it very clear multiple times that the person is speaking to a minor, whether the 13, 14, or 15-year-old male or female. And then that dialogue leads to what we call an offer and agreement, where some exchange for a service, for a monetary value or good, could develop probable cause.
Detectives say one of the suspects caught in their child sex trafficking sting is 42-year-old Joseph Hoffel. Body cam video shows his arrest on September 26th.
Mr. Hoffel already had a rape of a child conviction.
He already had an R of a child conviction. He already had conviction of being out there messing with the kids. Him. This dude right here. 42 years old. I'm putting them on blast. Y'all call me what y'all want. Y'all don't gotta be heavy in here. I want y'all to see what's also going on out here because of the fact that you seem as if you don't understand why. We need a lot of this stuff put on blast so people can know what's going on and protect our children. Because as you can see, that's who's being hurt the most.
And a rape conviction.
As part of the sting, sometimes the detectives posing as children will convince the suspects to meet somewhere, ultimately leading to their arrest.
We don't always have people show up. We will oftentimes develop probable cause and then follow up later, identify that person, and then arrest them on a later date.
That's how officials say Assistant Principal Alex Diaz-Rios was caught. Detectives explain Diaz was soliciting sex from a 15-year-old boy, though Diaz did not go through with the sex crime.
Our evidence started with dialogue, didn't get to the point where we had enough to show that a minor was involved, but a solicitation and offer an agreement was involved to develop the evidence for probable cause to make an arrest for misdemeanor crime.
Seattle Public Schools says upon learning of the charges, SPS acted swiftly to place the individual on leave on Wednesday, November 13th.
Yeah, but why are you not vetting people better and before you even give these people these positions? Why are these people not being vetted better, making sure that you're not finding out what these people have going on before you give them the job? And if he's an assistant principal, how long was he possibly doing this stuff already? And this is just in one place. This is only in one place. And I'm not singling out any immigrants or migrants because so far in that sting, you didn't see any. You saw American citizens. The other guy was 42 years old. That was an American citizen. I'm not singling that out. I'm just telling you guys that look at what the state of America is right now, what's going on, because we have basically no policing and no protection right now. And especially, who is it hurting? If you can see, it's hurting the kids. Like I said, we're doing this show today. This is what we're concentrating on. There's too much information about this yesterday going on, and I need to make sure that this message is getting out. Hope you guys like and share and subscribe. If you don't, it's on you, but God bless. Let's keep rocking. Let's go. Hope everybody doing good today. Hope everybody's healthy on this Sunday. God bless everybody that's here. But I just want to take care of our babies today, so let's get it going. And I want to show you guys a little more in depth about how that investigation took place in Washington, in a specific place, I guess, called Renton. I never heard of Renton before.
We arrested for attempted commercial sexual abuse of a minor.
Officers' body camera video shows the results of a 2-day sting.
One that brought a gun and methamphetamine.
One arrest after another. Renton police say men were showing up at a hotel to meet up with minors after engaging with undercover officers posing as 14 and 15-year-olds.
Went online, went on social media to different platforms to connect with people and target the demand side of those that are seeking prostitution.
Deputy Chief Ryan Rutledge says one of those people was an assistant principal at the time. Alex Diaz-Rios worked at Tops K-3. Oh,
you see, they didn't show us his picture before. That's why I do what I do, to put you on blast. If anybody got a problem with me putting Alex Diaz-Rios up on blast, the assistant principal from the 504 building coordinator, his email address is there and everything. I don't know how he got that position. But you know, you wouldn't look at a person like, you couldn't tell nowadays and look in a person's face and see if they're a possible creep, can you? You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. You gotta, you really have to do the homework. Hello, brother. Hey, Lim. How you doing today, Lim? Everybody, I hope if you guys like the information, I hope you like give me a couple of likes. I'd appreciate that. God bless you and your family and friends. Keep your good work. Since the election, seems like it's okay to talk truth again. That's right. Absolutely correct. That's what Harry's blog said. Mel65835 says absolutely correct. Harry blogs, DEI, blue hair and pronouns. They get the job. Huh? Harry blogs. Yo, Harry, you are so right, dog. Them crazy blue-haired ones in there acting all nuts, jumping around, and like, it's crazy. You're right. Harry's right. Rosanna Grande, this is happening all over the world. Yes, it is, and that's why we're putting it on blast. We're putting it on blast.
Underweight in Seattle.
So the person didn't know they were talking to a 15-year-old boy. And so we have to have certain factors to get our evidence or probable cause to meet certain standards. And in this case, we had enough for a misdemeanor crime.
He was arrested for patronizing a prostitute on November 12th. Seattle Public Schools says upon learning of the charge, they acted swiftly. He was placed on leave and he has since resigned. In a statement, the school district said that at no time prior to today was the district made aware that the charge may have involved a minor, but Renton police dispute that, saying the school was told.
So in this case, it did take some time to identify that person and then safely take them into custody and then make the notifications to the school district.
So the school said that they wasn't informed, but Renton put them on blast like, nah, don't try that. Renton police said, nope, we told y'all. We told y'all exactly what we got him for. Y'all know why he got locked up. Yeah, y'all know what we got him for.
Another man caught in the undercover bust is Joseph Hoffel, a two-time convicted.
See, they had his face blurred out the last time. That's why, again, why I do this. Because I go find the other video with your face, Joseph. 2 times convicted and was out on some type of probation or something.
Sex offender, seen here in this video.
We know that these are patterns of behavior. People that target children will oftentimes continue that behavior and even escalate that behavior.
In court documents, detectives say he told them, I'm fully aware that it is illegal.
When we go out, we cast that net wide. These are the people that we're attracting. The worst criminals in our community.
So yeah, that's who we putting on blast today. We got more. Sadly, we have more. Because right now, ICE is likely to deport this one teenager who fled New York. This one guy, he thought that he was just like, he was using the laws straight up against the United States. He went and did some stuff in New York. He said, I'm gonna get up out of New York because they let me out. So let me go down to Louisiana and cause some chaos. He went down there and did a pow. His boy they went and tried to do a robbery. The person that he went in with got killed at the scene. He got away, but he got caught. And now it's a whole big thing going on. But of course, another illegal migrant that crossed the border illegally, not supposed to be here. Watch this.
Customs enforcement has
I really need y'all to see this from the beginning. He walks right in. Like the same way someone said it's finally okay to tell the truth now. But it seems as if the criminals feel like they can just go the same way and just do whatever they want to do as well. Watch him as he just comes right in with it out.
Orleans East armed robbery now faces deportation.
As Chris Joseph reports, Immigration and Customs Enforcement has intervened in Teone Juarez's case.
The NOPD alleges Teone Juarez walked into Sam's Meat Market last Tuesday to commit armed robbery, but things took a turn. A clerk shot him. Officers arrested him.
So he came right in. His boy was already in there, acting like he was doing something. He came in with it out, aimed at the clerk. The other clerk saw him and started just going, just pop. Didn't even give him a chance to turn around. Let me ask y'all a question. Y'all see somebody come in the store like that and y'all got a chance to defend yourself, what y'all gonna do? You gonna defend yourself or you gonna put your hands up and let them get you? No, because you never know what's gonna happen in the line of crossfire. Get it done, get out of there. My opinion is, I'm getting it done and getting it out of there. I'd rather he go than we go.
His armed robbery charge could mean 20 years in prison. His alleged partner, 16-year-old Cecil Baptiste, is dead, and now the federal government has set the stage to deport Juarez. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, also known as ICE, confirmed Juarez is a Honduran citizen and put a detainer on his case.
The facts as I see them are quite egregious, and I cannot fathom a circumstance that he will not be deported at the end of the case.
Attorney Marone Floyd works on immigration cases. He says the detainer is ICE asking the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office to keep it in the loop on any plans to release Juarez.
So what normally happens in some of these cities is if they go to, like, let's say if it's a sanctuary city and he would have done something like that, 9 times out of 10, he probably would have got right out and been walking around on his own recognizances. But what ICE is asking for is for the criminal justice system to alert them that he's out and that he's done that. So at least they can try to pick him up and get him on the illegal immigration, the entering illegal charge, and get him out of here. Got to get him out of here some kind of way. Bottom line, y'all freedom fighters and trying to get everybody over here and give everybody opportunity. It's killing the American population, and it's hurting us. Again, the people that are not committing crimes, that's one thing. But people like this, time to go. Another thing is what I was bringing a point to last week in one of our videos is that the juvenile court system is very lenient as well. They have something that's called juvenile life, whereas if you get arrested for doing like a pow and you only get a certain amount of time. So if you're 15 years old, juvenile life is like when you're 24 or 23 years old, that's when you get out. So you'll still be able to live the rest of your life after you're 20 something, which is not fair. It's called juvenile life. Unless they escalate your case up to where you're being charged as an adult, and then you can be charged with the same, the same charges and the same, what do they call it, jail time as the adults get. But what I did want to bring to you guys is the fact that it's, again, on both sides, it's the young and it's the youth, because they're utilizing the laws to use the revolving door to get right back out and do stuff.
And if so, to hold him an extra 2 days. He says even if Juarez is found not guilty, ICE can try to get a judge to deport him.
And the immigration court ultimately makes the decision regarding deportation.
ICE says Juarez entered the U.S. in April 2023 through Texas. By the time he walked into the store, Orleans Parish court records show he faced an unknown charge in Texas. ICE says he also had a criminal possession of a weapon case in New York City. I spoke with the two victims from Sam's Meat Market earlier today very briefly. The worker in the phone section says right now he is just focused on his family. Meanwhile, the clerk on the other side of the store says that he just wants to move past this episode. They both declined interviews. The store reopened quickly after the shooting for shoppers like LaQuanda Keesley. She says she's concerned about how Juarez made it to New Orleans.
Now that's upsetting because we don't know what else is over here now.
Yes, how did he make it to New Orleans? They said nothing about that. Again, he did a crime in a sanctuary city. Let me get up out of here and go somewhere else. It was that easy. He would have probably did the same thing if they wouldn't have caught him in New Orleans, or if it's another sanctuary situation where he gets out of there. He's not going to stay around and wait to go to court if they let him out. Speaking of arrested, locked up, and trying to go to court, we got this situation right here. Let's talk about our buddy. Not our buddy. I don't want to say that because what he did was wrong. Oh, wait a minute. We got one more, y'all. Check this out.
Press conference Wednesday. Authorities announcing what could be the largest confiscation of illegal drugs in the history of Harris County's Precinct 1. It comes after a more than year-long investigation. In video shared by authorities, alleged drug dealer Juan Trevino is hauled away in handcuffs. We're told that man is the ringleader of an illegal drug operation in northwest Harris County that was busted last week.
We served 2 search warrants, we arrested 5 people, and we got a significant amount of drugs off the streets.
Today, Precinct 1 Constable Alan Rosen.
You notice this? Like, they're catching a lot of stuff right now. Things are turning around, huh? So what do you guys that says get rid of the police or defund the police think about it now when y'all see stuff like this? These DRUgs could have got to your kids and could probably have fentanyl in them.
Said his staff seized an assortment of drugs, including cocaine, meth, heroin.
Do y'all see that?
And marijuana, with an estimated street value of $1 million.
It's just a culmination of law enforcement working together to solve what was clearly a very big problem inside this apartment complex.
It was last June when Rosen said his office learned of the illegal operation at this apartment on Antoine in Tidwell.
They were using it, the complex, sort of as a drive-through drug trafficking.
That launched a more than a year-long investigation with Texas DPS. Officials even went undercover
To address a drug trafficking organization that had a stronghold in an apartment complex in Houston with links to Tren de Aragua.
Tren de Aragua, which is a cartel. The cartel send them here, tell them what to do, they send the money back. They got all types of pawns that they can keep on sending out. On another note, what's going on with Luigi Mangione? Is he friend or foe? But one thing is he's finally got a lawyer to help him out. The lawyer that he's got is pretty high profile. He's also, what we've heard is he's also ascertained over $100,000 in funding when it comes down to his freedom fund, because people basically put together a GoFundMe for Luigi to help him out.
Accused murderer Luigi Mangione has a new lawyer. High-powered defense attorney Karen Friedman Agnifilo, who worked as the chief assistant district attorney in the Manhattan DA's office for more than 7 years.
The evidence is going to be so overwhelming that he did what he did.
Agnifilo declined NBC News' interview request, but appeared on CNN earlier this week before becoming Mangione's attorney, laying out her thoughts about a defense strategy.
He was brilliant his whole life. He comes from this great family. I mean, something changed, right? Significantly, something changed. And they're going to, I think, potentially have a not guilty by reason of insanity potential defense.
How rare is it now for...
Do you think this guy's gonna be able to get off on a not guilty by reason of insanity? How you gonna say that he's a genius on one end and he's in college and he's got all of these accolades and he's a genius, and on another level, you're trying to say that he was insane? I guess genius does surf on borderline insanity after all, doesn't it?
someone to try to mount an insanity defense?
It's a huge risk because the defendant has to admit that he is the one who committed the crime.
NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalos is a practicing criminal defense attorney in New York.
Sometimes the only option for a defense attorney is put the government to its burden, make them prove their case, and hope they make a mistake.
When Mangione will be moved to New York to face charges there remains unclear. Tonight, he's locked down in this Pennsylvania prison. He eats 3 meals per day, taking all of them in his cell, a 15 by 6 foot concrete box like this, with a bed, sink, toilet, desk, and a window, with no access to TV for now. No word on if Mangione's family has been able to see him. But 2 sources familiar with the matter tell NBC News authorities spoke with his mother the night before he was arrested, showing her photos of the suspect, his mother acknowledging that it could be her son.
And Priscilla joins me now from outside the Pennsylvania prison where Mangione is being held. Priscilla, we've also been seeing signs of support for Mangione's defense online.
Yeah, Jose, there's actually an online fundraiser for Mangione that has already raised more than $100,000. That support expressed by some online is part of what has authorities so concerned about possible copycat crimes. Jose?
Yeah, possible copycat crimes. I actually think I saw in a couple of places where there was a couple of copycat crimes going on. So CEOs are now very nervous. They're doubling down on their security. And they're making sure that their families have a lot of security too. So I wanted to bring something else to you that Senator Kennedy is bringing to light. It's an area where the government is going to be looked at for adjustments for major losses of monetary. And I think you guys might be interested in this because there's a lot of places that we're thinking like, well, if they cut this in the government, this is going to break down. If they cut doing this, we're not going to be able to, do this. Here's an interesting part of government that you might not have a problem with them shutting down. Check this out.
So eloquently pointed out, when you spend $6 trillion a year, somebody's getting $6 trillion a year. Every penny in our budget has a constituency. and that constituency will fight us. They will fight us. And I recognize that, and it's something that as we go about downsizing government, we have to be mindful of. However, there is one constituency that is not going to be able to fight us in our quest to scrutinize federal spending, and I'm referring to dead people. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about dead people and the fact that they're getting money from the federal government. In fiscal year 2023 alone, this is just 1 year, our government sent $1.3 billion, not $1.3 million. We sent $1.3 billion in checks to dead people. Those aren't my numbers. Those numbers come from the Office of Management and Budget. That's just 1 year. Not only is the federal government sending checks to dead people, those checks are being cashed. Now, I have heard, Mr. President, of dead people voting, but cashing the checks.
So this is where they're saying I might get in trouble at because it's going a little too deep. But if they put it on the news, I got to bring it to yous because it's crazy. Look at all of this money that's going to dead people.
You don't have to be God's perfect idiot to realize that there's fraud happening with respect to all this money. Here's how this problem arises. When you die in America, your name is sent to the Vital Records Office in your state. And at that point, the Social Security Administration pays each state to get an ongoing list of deceased Americans in that state. So far, so good. The Social Security Administration takes this data, this list of deceased people, and they compile on an ongoing basis a list called the Death Master File. The Death Master File. That's just a list of everybody, updated daily, of people in the United States who are deceased. Why does the Social Security Administration do this? Well, so the SSA, Social Security Administration, can stop sending people who have died checks. So far, so good. There's just one problem. I discovered this about 7 years ago. The Social Security Administration refuses to share that list with anybody else in the federal government.
So yeah, this goes deep. This goes deep. I want you guys to look into this yourself. This is your senator. Y'all see what's going on. There's two other areas. So the first one was $1.4 billion went to COVID stimulus payments to dead people. And all of those checks were cashed, as you heard him say. Then there was $2.9 trillion that was value of improper payments since 2004. $6.5 million went out November of 112-year-olds in Social Security. I don't know what that means, but I do see those amounts of monetary in the front, and it's still pretty crazy. So yeah, it's a lot of spendage, a lot of money being lost and spent in certain areas of government that they could afford to do a little cut in that, you know. Last story I want to bring you something that's local from where I'm from, New York. Shout out to Brooklyn. I guess a bus driver couldn't take it no more. Passenger got in his face and he ponged him. So check this out, y'all. Check this out.
A bus ride went south when an MTA driver stabbed a passenger in Flatbush. News 12's Jody Juliana Powell tells us how things got physical.
Police tell us it all went down on the bus just before 12:30 p.m. on Friday. 33-year-old passenger Quentin Branch got into a heated argument with 58-year-old Ian Bascombe. That's when police tell us Branch attacked Bascombe. In response, Bascombe took out a knife and stabbed the passenger in the head and leg. The MTA tells us this happened on the B41 at the Foster Avenue and Flatbush Avenue stop.
Everywhere. Just a lot of nonsense, a lot of craziness. So that's why I stay home. I stay out of trouble. If it's not about business or something that's going, you know, be conducive to something positive, I'm staying home. But I do like to hang out with you guys and bring you all of this information so you can see what's going on and gather it, pool it, do little further investigations into whatever category or whatever story that you're interested in, and keep on bringing the show to you guys. And it's a pleasure for me to do it. Thank you guys for subscribing. I hope you liked the information that you saw today. Please share and like. Hope that you guys have a healthy Sunday evening. Eat good. Take care of yourself. Go on and get yourself some merch. Go on out there and go on the website www.drinkbigdrip.com and get yourself a 4-pack raspberry, grape, lemon, 14% alcohol by volume. Have that for your sports tonight and tomorrow. But until the next time, like I always tell you guys, I appreciate you. I want to thank you for coming through. Hope you had a good time today. And yes, we got another show for tomorrow. Like I always tell you, could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. Till the next time. Get 'em!